What's up everyone and welcome to the club. In today's video we're creating a portrait illustration of the elf on the shelf. Welcome back everyone and thanks for joining me today. For this lesson we'll need a sketch pad and a pencil. I'm going to start my sketch off with this 0.7mm mechanical pencil with a 2B graphite stick, but you're welcome to use whatever you like. Now I want to begin by adding a couple guidelines in the center of a page to help with the balance and symmetry of our drawing. So start in the center. We'll start at the very top. I'm just going to sketch a line coming down the middle using these short lines and all the way down. Now we're going to move back to the center and draw another line going across from left to right. Now I'm going to use these two lines to help us create a circle in the center of our page for the head. So from that center point, let's move up to the top to right about here. Mark off the top of our circle. Now I want to measure this distance from the center down towards the bottom and do the same thing. Let's repeat that across this horizontal line. So taking that distance from the center over towards the left and then the right side. Now I want to connect the center point of each mark with a curve to create our circle. So let's start with the top left. And the circle doesn't have to be perfect. We're just using this as a guide. Let's go back and just smooth this out as best we can. Now with our circle and guidelines in place, we're going to start shaping in the head and adding the facial features. Let's start with the ears. On the left side of our circle, we're going to draw a half circle going out and then in. Let's line this up over on the right side and do the same thing. Now from the top of the ears, we're going to step out, angle this up and then in. Now we want to connect these 2 points with a curve, going up and then down, just over our circle. Let's go back down towards the bottom and draw that same curve, going across and then down. Let's go back to the top corners of the hat brim. I'm just going to angle the hat, going up and then in, just off our page. Now let's go down to the bottom of the head. We're going to draw two lines, one on the left and one on the right. Let's connect the bottom with a curve across the base of the neck. Now from these 2 points, we're just going to angle the collar, going down and out toward the left and right side. Let's close off the bottom with a curve, coming down and then up. Now that we have the basic shape of the head, let's start adding the facial features. I want to start by locating the inside edge of the eyes. So from that center line, let's move over toward the left to right about here. Draw a straight line going up and then down. Let's take that same distance over towards the right and do the same thing, going up and down. Let's go to this corner. I'm just going to angle the eyelid, going up and then out toward the left and right side. Let's go back to the inside of the eye on the left. We're going to draw the top of the eye. We're going to go up and then down towards the outside, like a half oval. And we'll do the same thing on the right, going up towards the same height. Now we're going to draw the hair coming down the center of the head, starting on the left side underneath the hat brim, come down and then up. Let's go out towards the side, curve the hair coming down and then out, aiming towards the center of the ears. Now let's move to the center, step down, draw a small circle for the nose, going around and then up. Step down, draw a curve for the mouth, coming down and then up. In the center, we're going to step back down, add a short curve for the lower lip. Now I want to position the eye so it's looking over towards the left. So starting from the top, we're going to curve around and then out towards the bottom of the eyelid. Let's do the same thing on the right, going around and then out. Now in the center, we draw a small oval for the pupil, just up against the edge of the eyelid. And then along the top of the pupils, draw a small circle for highlight. Now with a rough sketch in place, let's go back and erase some of these guidelines. Once we cleaned up our drawing, I'm going to go back and modify the shapes and add a little bit more detail. Let's start with the eyes. I'm just going to go all the way around the eyelid, come down towards the bottom. I'm just going to curve the bottom of the eyelid, going up and then down towards the inside. Let's enhance the outside edge of the iris, going all the way around. Same thing with the pupils. Now I'm just going to darken up the center of the pupil, going around that highlight. I'm just going to add some lashes on the top right side of each eye. So we're going to add 3 little curls, going up and out. Let's move to the center. It's going to enhance the bottom edge of the nose and just fade that up. Let's add a little bit of shading across the top of the nose. then enhance the mouth. I'm just going to add a little fold across the corners of the mouth. I'm just going to add the tongue in the center and just lightly shading that tongue. Now here I'm just going to move out and modify the shape of the head. Let's start from the cheeks. Just want to pull this in just a little bit higher. Just going to curve the chin, coming down and then back up. I just want to add a little bit more shape to the inside edge of the hair. So we're going to go up and in, and then bend that back up towards the top. And with the hair, just going to add a point going out toward the left, and then back up. Now let's change the shape of the hat brim. I'm going to start from the outside. We're going to go up and in. Let's bend that up in the middle, and then down towards the right. And adding another curve going out and then down. And just tuck the hair in underneath. Set a fold inside the ears. Again, we're also going to add a little bit more shape to the top edge of the hat brim. So just dipping that down towards the sides and then curving the side of the hat. I'm just going to extend the collar higher up across the bottom of the neck. Come down and then out. Let's add those points across the collar. Starting in the center, I'm going to add that V. Add another point. Going out towards the side and up. And out towards the ends. And we're just going to tuck the body in underneath. I'm going to go back and do one final cleanup before we add some more detail and shading. And once we finish cleaning up our drawing, I'm going to go back in with my 0.9mm pencil and start adding some contrast. So I'm start with the eyes. We're just cleaning up our lines. So using the rough sketch as a guide, start along the top. Now we're going to go a little bit lighter across the bottom of the eyelid. Just add in those lashes. Just going to enhance the bottom edge of the nose. Just enhance that shadow across the top. And then we'll define the mouth. Now I'm going to switch to the side edge of my 2mm pencil and start adding some various tones. So we're just going to start by darkening up the inside of the hair with a medium shade. We're also going to add a little shade to the top of the hat. And I'm just going to fade that up towards the top of our page. Also adding a light shade to the inside of the iris. And then we're going to add some light shadows to our characters. So we're going to imagine the light's coming from the top, going across our characters, so the shadows sit along the bottom edge of each shape with the highlights across the top. So this hair is going to cast a shadow across the head. So just darken up the bottom, just with a light and soft shadow. Also across the edge of the hat. So you see that the hat's pulled forward on top of the head. Also going to add a little bit of a shadow across the bottom of the nose and then fade that up. The nose is also going to cast a shadow coming down towards the mouth. Add a little blush across the cheeks and just blend that out. And the head's also going to cast a shadow across the top of the neck. Just lift the collar off the body by adding a shadow across the bottom. Now let's darken up the hair across the bottom, just to pull this into shadow and add a little bit of shape. Now as we get near the end, I'm going to add a little stitching across the hat and the collar, and always be sure to sign our artwork, and that's pretty much it. There's a portrait illustration of the elf on the shelf. I hope you enjoyed today's lesson. If you do, please be sure to subscribe for more videos each week where I'll show you how to draw different characters just like this one. I want to thank you for joining me today, and I'll see you again soon.